here with Wisconsin Eau Claire. Congratulations on your 3-1 victory over Wittenberg in the second round of the Division III NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship this evening. With us today is head coach Kim Wudi. We have setter Alex Kiebel. We also have with us senior Bailey Leeke. And we also have, Abby Stanwood. She's an outside hitter and she's a senior. Coach, before we start, if you can just give an opening statement of your thoughts of today's match.
Yeah, to be honest, this is about how I thought this match was going to go. Just punch for punch, going at them, and it's just huge. If I could play Wittenberg a bunch of times in the regular season, I would. They're an outstanding opponent, and they sure had us up against the ropes a couple times. So credit to them. I know we were talking about this in our scout that they have been in situations before where they're really good at coming from behind. And that's something that we talked about, that we needed to make sure that we stayed in front. And I think that, that's a well-coached team. That's a great culture. I mean, we certainly talk about culture a lot. So for them to be able to just stay tight with us and, certainly they took it to us in set two, right? So I just want to give them a shout out as far as their season. What a season. And then, as far as our team goes, I just said to the team as we broke it down, this match was kind of a microcosm of our season. We've had a really successful year, but we've had a lot of ups and downs. And for us to come out especially in set 4, and just really put some pressure on them and kind of stay in control, that's a huge growth moment for us in terms of being able to just stay composed and not let the moment get too big. So I'm really proud of us.
You touched on second set, and speaking of that, I'm going to switch over to Abby right here. You were trailing 8-7 when the hit came, and they stopped play. And next thing you know, Wittenberg went on a 6-7 run, scored 6 of the next 7 points, and they grabbed a 14-8, and looked like the tide was changing there. Mm-hmm. How did your composure and as a team, how did you guys bear down and overcome that situation when you knew you had a powerful hit right there?
I think it entirely was a team effort. I think that every single person, every time out we had, came in during that set and was like, let's calm it down, let's find our pace. We have some great leaders that were able to pull us back together, and I feel like that's kind of when we came through in that third set, and we were able to, move through that and play really well.
I'm going to come over to Bailey here. Tremendous play. Once again, offensively. Yesterday, you had 19 kills. Today, I believe you finished with 22 kills and you hit 400. You also had a big block in the fourth set, which it was 19-14, I believe, was the score at that time, and it just set the tone to go on and to be able to capture the match. Can you just talk about the play and what you thought about tonight?
Yeah, Kim touched on it a little bit, but Wittenberg is known for coming back in those crucial moments, and so even it might have been a 5-point difference there, but that's when we needed those big plays. And they run a really fast middle. Both middles, 10 and 11, run an incredibly fast offense, so that put a lot of pressure on our middles. So I just felt like it was important as a pin hitter to still carry my weight blocking. And so when I ended up getting that block, it was just really rewarding for our middles as well.
And we'll go over to the first year there. Congratulations tonight on your 1,000th assist of the season.
Thank you.
What does that feel like, knowing that your first year coming in, you started and you achieved a milestone?
It feels good, obviously, to just for myself to know that the work I put in to get to where I am paid off. And I can't do it without my team. I can't do it without my passers giving me great balls so that I can set up my hitters, and my hitters just taking big rips and trusted me to give them that.
Before I turn it over, inquiring minds really want to know. Yellow Roses.
So I'm an alum of Eau Claire, right? And when I was a player, so 1996, my first NCAA tournament that I ever participated in, Claire Holman, Lisa Herb, who are just legends in our program. At the time, they gave us all yellow roses, and every time we've been in the NCAA tournament, we come out on with the march with a yellow rose, and that yellow rose symbolizes the friendship and the unity that our team has. We take a lot of pride in in the history and in what the people that came before us have built. I couldn't tell you the first year, there weren't too many NCAA tournaments before that, so I don't know exactly when it started. But that meant a lot to me as a player to carry that rose and know that every time I walked out there in the NCAA tournament, I had that, and being able to pass along that tradition as a head coach certainly is something I'm really proud of. Gets me choked up every time they're out there and they carry that. Now, to try to keep those roses, alive and not wilting over 3 days, that's the fun part. I would rather have a wilted rose on day 3 than one they're taking home on day 1. So.
Going back to the beginning of the third set, I think that was probably the most intense part of that match. Really, and I've been here for most of the play so far this weekend, probably the best volleyball I've seen out of any of the teams. What was it like trying to weather that storm right at the beginning of that third set? Because the sequences were long and the hits were intense.
I would say I think Kim talked about this a lot during the match, just because you take a swing and they dig it, you don't need to be like, it's just kind of being able to weather through that and keep working and keep finding different shots, keep trying different things. I think once we got comfortable and kind of felt like we could, be okay with not scoring right with one swing, that's kind of when we found that ability to take big swings and try different things, and we got some good points out of that.
I'll say, we talk a lot about having a goldfish mindset, right? And having errors that, if we have an error, if we lose a point, that 10 seconds, right? Like it's Ted Lasso. But I think we also today talked about that also has to happen on our success too. We can't carry over a kill into the next play or we're going to miss a blocking assignment or something like that. So just really trying to be in the moment, but also then, okay, moment's over, let's go to the next one. And I thought that our players stayed really, really composed throughout that stretch that you're talking about.
Obviously, you have 3 players up there that a lot of coaches would love to have around them, right? And you talked yesterday of having a staff that has been through a national championship. I think of Dick Vermeil's great quote that I became a lot better coach when I got Marshall Falk. How much of building a successful year in, year out program, how much of a successful year like the one you've had this year is coaching versus having all these players around you?
It's 100% the players. I mean, I joke all the time with our staff, my job is to not get in their way and really to not mess it up. And to be honest with you, I mean, I know that sounds really flippant and I don't mean to make it that way. But our training and our culture, what we try to build throughout the entirety of the year is so that in these moments, we can turn it over to the players because we trust them completely in what we've trained, what we've taught, how they know that they can go execute. So it really is about, felt like I was more of a cheerleader today than I was a coach because I just wanted us to keep working, right? And I think that that's something that, I take a lot of pride in, that our players have a lot of autonomy on the floor, that it's not us calling plays all the time. I mean, I might turn to Alex and say, hey, keep setting Bailey. Or actually, I think the way I said it was, you know who to set right now, right? But I think those are the things where, it starts with recruiting those players who want that ownership and want that autonomy, but then it's also building them up and helping them understand that they can do it. They don't need us to tell them how to do it every time.
How is this team and the 2021 team most alike?
The seniors, upperclassmen. I mean, I think that that's something, I say that all the time. We win with seniors. We win with leaders. And there's some similarities that are really kind of uncanny, but at the same time, I think that it is putting the ball in the hands of the players that have the experience, the confidence, and quite frankly, the fire. Just they've been through it. They're battle tested, right? And so that's the goal, is to be able to give it to those players in those situations.
speaking of similarities for all three student athletes, how are yourselves and that woman sitting in between you most alike?
I'm really competitive. I definitely say that's what we're most alike. No matter what it is, if it's 19-14, I have a block. If it's we're down how many ever in the second set, like I will be there until the very end until we're shaking hands, and I feel like I definitely see that competitive side come from Kim as well in timeouts.
I mean, I'm a setter. Kim was a setter. I think we both just have that like setter brain. So we kind of just like connect on things, and you know, like she was just saying, you know who to set right now, right? And I was like, yes, I do. And just calm and composed. I feel.
I mean, I think Kim and I have a lot of similarities with both, science majors, both transfers, both, really wanting to excel in every way possible. And I think that I've been able to learn a lot from that and how she was able to overcome a lot of the stuff when she was transferring and kind of finding that new environment and that comfort in Eau Claire volleyball. And I think I've done the same in that way. So that's really cool.
One final question.
Yeah, Coach, what are the next steps now advancing? When you leave this interview room, how do you get the team turning the page, and what do you get prepared for tomorrow? How do you prepare for tomorrow?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that that's one of the things that has helped us, all year is our ability to recover. We have an outstanding strength and performance staff at UW-Eau Claire that we focus on recovery all year long. So our players know how to recover. They know how to feel better. They love to eat, so fuel and hydration. Those are things that we don't. We have absolutely a lot of experience with, so we're going to definitely get some calories in. But it's getting your feet up and it's making sure that you are doing the feel-good stuff to be ready to go tomorrow.
So what's the preferred post-match meal? What do you say you want to eat?
It's going to be noodles today. We can't really go too far outside outside what we normally get, but pasta, carb load.
We did get Cheesecake Factory last night, though.
Yeah, we did.
That was a treat.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, and good luck tomorrow.